There's no better feeling than a personal win, and the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This episode is brought to you by Merrill. Join one of the most iconic names in wealth management, Merrill. You'll be part of a dynamic team of advisors and specialists working hard every day to grow their clients' wealth. And with the support of best-in-class research, advanced digital tools, and the resources of a global institution, it's truly an opportunity you can be bullish about. Learn more at careers.bankofamerica.com. Copyright 2024, Bank of America Corporation.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the podcast. I've got Chris Troka here from Wisconsin, and he's got an interesting background. He builds relationships and businesses with marketing, tech, and automation. We'll talk about AI. He's also a podcast host, serial entrepreneur, and marketer, and he most recently helped with a medical office with their marketing and tech. So I'm really excited to have him on and discuss his expertise. So Chris, welcome.
Dr. Lou, thanks so much for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah. Everybody calls me Chris, and, start by introducing yourself, and I'm excited to dive into the questions.
Chris, first of all, it's a fantastic name. One of my favorite names. My name is Chris. 10 years ago, I started a wedding DJ business as a hobby. It quickly grew into a full-time income where I could then grow my business and add on additional services like photo booth and room lighting. We did win the Best of Weddings award from the Knot 5 years running. So we're really proud of that based on great customer service. Ended up realizing I need to learn marketing and sales well enough to grow my own business. Went back to school and started my own marketing agency. And I've just been really deep into technology, AI, and automation because that is what drives the needle over at businesses and what helps them save time and just be more efficient.
Yeah. Interesting. So what led you to become a marketer? What initially sparked your interest in this field?
I think I was always a little bit of an entrepreneur at heart, finding opportunities wherever I could. In high school, I was in a band and we realized we needed a place to play. The restaurant I worked at was not busy enough, so we decided to host live music there. And our band played, we got more music there and musicians. So that was the beginning of my journey. I was always trying to find new opportunity or a side hustle while I was working these part-time or full-time jobs, never really feeling fulfilled from the full-time work life. I just absolutely dreaded it. I don't like mornings. I don't like getting up early. So if I could create my own schedule, my own financial freedom, time freedom, that was the end goal. So growing the business, I quickly realized with the DJs, I needed to market myself and have a real business in order for people to know and trust me online. So that was my initial spark into loving marketing. Went back to school for it. I had great opportunity to have a scholarship, paid tuition to attend school again. So it was just like the universe opened up for me and I was so excited. And I love the nuances and the ever-changing landscape of marketing. So that's how it started and how it led to me where I am today.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love you and me were talking backstage, and a lot of people, they're entrepreneurs at heart. It was just the opportunities or the coaching or a mentor weren't there. But now with the internet and now you got mobile, cloud, social, AI, we'll talk about a little bit later. It's really easy to become and flourish as an entrepreneur. People listening to this podcast and they want to start a business. What were the most significant challenges you faced in the early stages and how did you address them?
Absolutely. Starting a business is scary. We're taking calculated risks. We're trying to make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains, eventually trying to lead to an end goal, time freedom, financial freedom. For me, I really needed that and aspired to that. The challenges that I faced was we don't know a lot going into it. So we have to learn. We need to connect with mentors. We need to connect with Facebook or LinkedIn groups. We need to buy some books, maybe a course or two to give us a deeper dive into the subject so we can feel more confident in the actions we're taking. But what I just said there is the action piece is sometimes we spend so much time learning. There's more learning that can be done by taking action and learning from our mistakes. So I strongly encourage people to learn about something, but really just dive in and take action because you're going to learn so much more from making those mistakes, overcoming challenges, but having successes too. Just as you mentioned with your podcast, it started as a hobby. It grew so much that you doubled down on it. And that's something I recommend to other entrepreneurs. Look at what's working in your marketing, your life, and double down on that. And I love that you focused on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You and me we were talking. It was like we both had successful companies, and COVID kind of threw a wrench into that. So we had to innovate and around and they learn how to view technology. So I'm curious, how do you view technology and marketing? I'm just overarching, and then we'll dive into some of the how you leverage it. But overall, like technology, especially with mobile, cloud, social, how do you do that in your marketing strategy?
Absolutely. So technology is just another tool in our tool chest that we're able to access. I don't think it should replace the human experience, but it can enhance it. So this can improve the response rate, the engagement rate, the connections and touch points that you have with a lot of your clientele. Yeah. All of our clients, both from the DJ side and the marketing side, they love how responsive and communicative we are. And that's something that we highlight. This starts off typically with a base level, a solid CRM. This is a customer relationship management software. They may look different for different industries or professions, but CRMs manage the names, important details, the emails, the communication, the marketing sometimes between the relationship between the client and the patient or the business. So using that technology can enhance the business. It can save you time. It can enhance relationships. And I think we're seeing now how automation, productivity, and AI are taking over the landscape. And there's this worry that it's going to replace a lot of workers. I think they say that each time a new piece of tech comes out. But we'll just, as everything else has changed, we'll see new opportunities open up for AI prompting, software engineers, technology specialists. It's just going to change the landscape in the way that we look at it. But overall, technology is another tool that we can use to enhance our business. So that's why I love using it in my everyday life.
Yeah, very well said. And are there any tools or platforms that you consider essential for success today, leveraging technology in your marketing efforts?
Absolutely. Again, just the base level CRM. It's funny because many businesses don't bother with it, or they realize a bit later that, hey, maybe I should have someplace where I can get out of my mind and let a software do the heavy lifting for me. After the CRM, I would say it's going to be considering your buyer's journey. What do they go through from that first touch point with finding you into the customer satisfaction, even after the service or the product has been fulfilled? You can use technology within every piece of that. There's SMS text marketing, there is email marketing as well. These combined together enhance the communication. You can even use AI now to have conversations with other people via text, email, to enhance that relationship. A new feature we launched is the AI voice. So if you call our business line, you'll speak to an AI specialist, which is actually a robot, but they're conversational. It is not a yes or no, choose one for this. You ask it a question, it can lead you in the right direction and provide an answer. It can take payments. It can schedule calendar appointments. So the way that we use technology, I feel like the CRM is the baseline, and then anything that helps improve your time management, which is going to be automation and technology like AI.
Yeah. And expanding upon AI, because you were talking about how it can be a personal assistant and it can automate a lot of tasks. Talk about AI in the creative, like the marketing and the social media, because now there's a Gen AI. How are you viewing that AI in that scope or context?
Absolutely. It's pretty incredible to see where AI has started and what it has turned into. AI is technically not something new. We've had algorithms and systems that compute things and give output based on that. Our search results have been based on that. And that's something heavy that we focus on is the search engine optimization as well. But today with generative AI, we are able to create pictures where you can create pictures in specific styles with certain photography elements to it. You can be specific to it. We now have video generation as well. So using these tools, it's crazy to see what it's capable of just in the 2 to 3 years time that ChatGPT first launched. And now we see more localized systems. One we use is Pinocchio, which runs on your own system. So you don't have to rely on a cloud system. You can run your own AI generated images through a system like that. So just to see where it's started and gone to is pretty incredible. And I think it's interesting to see how it's going to change the landscape of marketing and creatives, because now I'm seeing AI generated logos. I'm seeing AI generated content. And a lot of this is done without any human input. There's robots who are scanning the web for a new recent tech article based on certain keywords. They'll send it to ChatGPT to summarize it, create bullet points, to create a social media post. And all of these things are happening automatically without human input. So yeah, generative AI, it'll create a social media post for that. It'll create the image for it. So it's crazy to see what it's done, what it's capable of, and what the next one month to 1 year to 5 years is going to bring for it.
Yeah. Which will on the subject of Gen AI, because it sounds like what you were describing was the ability to produce content at scale automatically. How do you ensure the quality, and how do you ensure that the content resonates with one's particular target audience?
Absolutely. That's a great question. First, it comes down to the prompt. Prompt engineering is very important when it comes to getting the end result for what you're looking for. So we're going to run something like social media poster through test runs first. We want to see what content it's going to be creating. There's also ways to create safeguards and approvals. We could have a piece of content. You'll get a draft or a copy sent over to your email, and you can either say yes or no. And if it's good, it will automatically save it as a draft and post it. If it's not good enough, it'll return a different result for you to say, hey, this is what we're looking for. Then after the fact, with 1 to 2 weeks of testing, then you can go in and see if your prompt needs more revision. Sometimes you just need to be more specific to your AI model. So the more you can tweak and engineer, the more flexibility that you have, the more safeguards and guardrails you can put in place. So that way it stays on track and stays on topic for you.
Yeah. Moving on, what trends do you see shaping the future of marketing over the next few years, and how are you positioning yourself to adapt to these changes?
Specifically, we're seeing AI being integrated into literally every tool imaginable. Something as simple as a podcast recording editor, a social media creator, content, everything is adding AI to some extent. Some are doing it very well, some are lacking and they're trying to add AI as a buzzword, unfortunately. But I do see AI helping us be more efficient. It allows us capabilities that weren't available to many others before. One example is just a simple background remover. This would take some tweaking and edits and tools within a program like Adobe Photoshop first. Now, with a click of a button, a computer program, AI will digitally enhance and remove that background for us. So this is a huge time saver. There's less human input that's required. We are going to see some job changes. We are going to see more AI generated content. I think it's filling the Google algorithm right now. If you search for a specific type of bird, if you're a bird fan, you will find many AI generated images, unfortunately, for that bird. So we're going to see a dilution of the credibility of information we see online. We're going to see it enhancing our lives, but we're also going to see some shifts in the job market for that. But again, new opportunities will open up. I think for us, we just need to position ourselves into how can AI best help our clients. So we're using, again, the AI voice, ChatGPT. We're creating more content. We're getting more refined so we can take less of our brains and allow the software, computers, and robots to do the work for us.
And so I really love your slant on technology, and there's so many different avenues we could talk. You have a podcast, and talk about what inspired you to start your podcast and how it's influenced your personal and business brand, and people that are listening that want to start a podcast. How can they start to incorporate technology into building this platform?
Absolutely. So the podcast idea was originally just something fun for my best friend and I to do. Over the years, it eventually evolved and changed direction. We went into more of a business entrepreneur mindset where we both talked about our experiences as entrepreneurs at that time. Later on, we realized there was more value in having guests and experts in their fields into our podcast to expand our network and meet more people. So that was the direction we took. And we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could help highlight these entrepreneurs? So we start creating video snippets and fun content for the podcast. But even more so, it's the business relationships and the advice and experts that I've spoken with, where it's given me more knowledge and confidence, and my speaking ability has improved. And that's transferred over into the sales portion, into the business aspects. Podcasting itself is a great way to meet people, to have some fun and great conversations. And then the way that we use technology to enhance that is a big program is Descript. This takes a transcription of the entire conversation. You edit the video like you would a Word document. If you don't like a sentence or if you stutter, simply remove it. The system itself, you can automatically identify and remove uhs, ums, and its from all of the podcast session. It will digitally enhance all the microphones into studio sound. It can create shorts and snippets. The technology is there to make us more productive, to do more things. I probably couldn't find the time to create all these snippets and the content if it wasn't for the tools. So for those who are looking to start a podcast, great way is just set up a Zoom, set up a microphone, some headphones, and suddenly you have a podcast. Speak about topics you're passionate about, connect with other people, have some guests on. Another program that we use is matchmaker.fm. That's a great way for finding other shows, getting guests on your shows as well. For those who are looking to start a podcast, that is the quick and dirty method for accelerating your podcast from the ground up and then taking it to that next level.
Yeah. Yeah, you and me, we were talking about just building a brand. And like I said, it was just a way to interview guests and share your thoughts. In the earlier days, it was like you started a blog or you started a YouTube channel or social. And now you can go on here, and then the more you incorporate these tools and automate it, and the more you can get really great content, but it'll grow organically as well. And the next question I have for you is, because also a lot of this gets overlooked a lot, and you focus on customer engagement and building a brand. And why should companies care about customer engagement in their brand? And could you share some tactics that have worked well for you?
Absolutely. From my experience as a marketer, a lot of our job and a lot of the perception is that it's ads, it's advertising, it's getting leads into the door. And a lot of people don't consider what it takes for that lead to come into the door. So one, we need to either get found or get in front of the right people. So getting found is going to be the organic search engine optimization. Getting in front of is going to include paid advertising like sponsorships. We're going to have digital ads online as well. Both can be great within your marketing strategy. But from that point, just to gain that interest, we need to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that's where the content strategy comes in as well. So we need to use that content to convince them that they're a business that you want to work with. There's a high likelihood that you can solve their problem. So that's what we recommend for people: get found, get in front of people, have the right content strategy. And then from that, it is the customer engagement. It is how you interact with people. When we look at the marketing funnel, the top level, it's all the leads. Second is how you build and nurture those relationships. That is going to increase your conversion rate for however many leads you have in. If you're not personalizing some of the touch points, the outreach, if you're not communicating with them at the right amount of time, if you're not building some sort of community or relationship so people can feel connected with your business, that's lost opportunity. That's leaving money on the table. So we like to increase the customer engagement, maybe do some funny, comical memes, something that just isn't typically traditional. But all of that customer engagement and attention helps build a community and then improves your chance for a review, your chance for a referral. So again, marketers, we like to look at the top of the funnel, the lead generation, but throughout the entire journey, people are having an experience. They want to be someone special and someone cared for. So when you can create this marketing ecosystem that focuses all around that, you're going to have higher results, higher conversions, and you're not leaving money on the table.
Yeah, so well said. How can people find out more about you, connect with you, and reach out to you?
Absolutely. So people can find me online. I have a LinkedIn profile, Chris Troka. People can find me on Facebook as well. My marketing agency is focus-biz.com, or they are welcome to check out our podcast called Brainwork Framework, another great podcast among many with great hosts to have out there as content available to connect with us.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And thanks so much for coming on and sharing your expertise, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, Chris. It was a pleasure. Thank you.